What's up, people? Rare evening or night video for me, but man, I just had some ideas and I was trying to figure out where do I put this down, and why not just throw it up in the video and put it out there. I was recently in a meeting of leaders a couple weeks ago, and we recently have been talking about trying to be more brave and courageous and deep and thorough and honest and real in our meetings. And, sometimes that takes the place of norms, right? But norms come alive and they live, or at least we bring them to life or they die. And anyway, so we're in this meeting and, we're just about to wrap up the meeting. We're about to move on. And, I'm facilitating in the meeting and I say something like, okay, well, the next steps are to do A, B, and C and plan some things, do some homework in between the next meeting. And, one of the participants in the meetings says something that's a bold statement, right? And the bold statement is, something to the effect of, well, it seems like we're dancing around the issue, and are we really going to go deep, or are we just going to keep dancing around the issue? Thank you. And I remember when I used to be that person dropping those bombs and putting crazy stuff out there, seeing if anybody would pick it up. And this time I was the facilitator. And, in this particular meeting, I got to, say, okay, well, look, this is it. This is the moment that we're talking about, right? And that's not to put so much extra on it and be like, we're sitting here talking about how we are going to solve world hunger or overthrow the government. That's just to say that in each meeting and every meeting, in any space people sit down, there's a moment where something gets stirred up, right? Something gets named, right? And, it is upon us to determine whether we're going to pick it up or not, whether we're really going to answer the call or not. And anyway, so I'm in a space, I'm facilitating, and I said, okay, great, this is it, right? Does anybody want to respond to this person's last comment? Does anyone have something they want to add to it? Does somebody want to disagree? Does somebody want to go deeper? And, it's still crickets, right? And I actually named that in the moment, and it felt so great because I'd been in, meetings before where something gets said or I say something and no one responds. And then later on, I'm debriefing or reflecting after the fact. And I call this the cricket effect, right? Where you say something kind of bold and someone says something kind of bold and it's just crickets. It's just silence. Nobody really adds onto that thread and the momentum just kind of dies, right? Or the progress or the possibilities kind of shrivel up. And anyway, back to the meeting. So I say, okay, so either we're going to let it be crickets or people are going to say something, right? And, in this particular situation, somebody says something and then someone else says something else, right? And there's a facilitator. I name that. I say that, yes, this is an opportunity for us to continue pushing the work. And specifically, we're talking about race. We're talking about justice. We're talking about going further than we normally go. And, I say all this to say that in all kinds of spaces, especially in meetings, definitely in educator meetings and school staff meetings, there's an inflection point. Could be multiple inflection points. And the question is, what do we do at this inflection point, right? Do we take the discourse one, white supremacy culture, status quo, comfort for white folks, comfort for privileged folks, comfort for adults? Do we take that path? Or do we take this other path of going deeper with some discourse 2 questions, some 5 why protocols, right? Some deeper, braver norms, right? Some anti-racist practices. Or do we take that turn, right? Do we take that path? And, I think in the moment, one, we have to be able to see that we're in a moment, right? this is actually something that's happening right now. Something really got named. So someone has to be at least looking for that, if not a group being trained to know that those times and spaces and crossroads are going to appear within a meeting. Then, if we actually do take the what if anti-racist liberation justice path, then what do we do, right? Because normally it's going to throw shit off, right? The meeting is not going to go as we planned, right? I talk about, or at least in the past, I've thought about it and tried to leave buffer space within meetings, right? 10 minutes, 20 minutes, unplanned time, because you know something's going to come up, and that gives you some time to have some flex time, right? But not just flex time to continue doing the bureaucratic stuff, to finish the bureaucratic stuff, but time to go deeper and explore something that, is a little more pivotal, is a little more transformational. If, who knows, right? At this point, I'm really just thinking out loud and, trying to at least add some language to what I was experiencing and what I'm thinking. But I do feel like if we're more prepared, or at least willing to take that work up when we reach that inflection point, then we might get to a different place. Because, we know what normally happens when we take the road that is most traveled, right? We prioritize adults, we prioritize the privileged folks, we think inside the box, we stay on the surface, and we keep doing things that they've been done, right? That yields the same outcomes that we've been getting. But we know that we're trying to do something different, and we're trying to do more than that. So in summary, look for those inflection points. Please don't let it be crickets. If someone's brave enough to say something, God, thank them, congratulate them, ring a bell, right? Give some dap, give some love, and see where it takes you, right? Co-sign that moment and keep it pushing, whether you're doing that from the side or you're the facilitator, right? Or you're the norm observer or process observer, whatever your organization calls it. And, let's see where we end up. Peace.